Happy New Year and welcome back. This is another video. I haven't done one in a year, so I just want to go ahead and get started. I was going to be talking in the video, but I mean, as you can see, I'm not. I decided to edit it out because there was a lot of commotion going on in the background and stuff like that. So basically what I'm going to get started on doing is my eyebrows, and I was just showing you the products that I was going to be using. I am going to use the NYX eyebrow gel. It's in, I think, the shade Coffee. So I'm just going to be lining my brows right here. And the brush that I'm using is a Milani double-sided brush. So right here, I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I was just babbling on about some bullshit. But yeah, so what I'm gonna continue doing is pretty much my eyebrows. I'm just gonna make the lines a little bit straighter. I felt like there was just a little bit of bald spots. And after that, we're gonna start shading in with the Wonder Brow brush. I just feel like it shades my brows in a little bit better. That's basically what I was explaining right here. I was showing the differences between the Milani brush and the Wonder Brow brush, as you can see right there. So we're just going to continue on with the brows. Alright, so right here I basically started explaining that I was doing my other eyebrow, and I switched from using the NYX eyebrow gel because it started getting really dry, and it started drying out a lot, and it was really hard to work with after a while. So I started using the done-in-one Salon Perfect brow pomade, and then to shade in the inner corner of my eyebrow, I was going to use one of my eyeshadows, the dark brown color. That's basically what I'm showing you guys right here. I went ahead and just mixed that with the done-in-one brow pomade and did a little bit of the brown eyeshadow and started shading in the inner corner of my eyebrow. And then I showed you the finished product of my right eyebrow. So we're just gonna keep going with the other side. I was just basically saying that I use the NYX a lot more than I use the brow pomade. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we're just gonna go ahead and finish the other eyebrow. Okay, so right about here, now that I'm done with my eyebrows, I'm going to start to conceal around my eyebrows. Is with the Maybelline, I believe it's Master Conceal in light to medium, or medium to dark, I believe it was. And I just dab it on the back of my hand, and I use a flathead brush from BH Cosmetics. All of my brushes are from BH Cosmetics. They're just cheaper and they are good. They're a good brand of brushes. So that's what I'm going to be doing here for both the eyebrows. As you can see, I try to get as close to the brow line as possible, and I just brush it out continuously. And you just do sharpen that edge. This is the same concealer that I'm going to be using for my eyelids when I do start doing the eyeshadow for my eyelids. So that's what we're going to be doing right here, and we're just going to continue on with concealing the brows. So right about here, I was freaking out because I couldn't find my primer, but I found it anyway. It's the Milani eyeshadow primer. I put on the concealer. I did clip that out of the video just because I felt like you didn't really need to see it. So I dab on the primer on the beauty blender. I don't directly put it on my eyelid with my finger because it kind of leaves like a patchiness. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to put on the primer without it leaving, you know, a patchiness and stuff like that. And then after this, I started showing you guys what palette I was using. It's one of the Morphe palettes. It's one of their older palettes before they switched to the new type of creation or whatever that they started doing. So I started with that color with this fluffy brush. It's from BH Cosmetics as well. And I'm just gonna start shading that in as a base on both of my eyebrows. So that's what we're gonna continue doing right here. Right about here, I started using the Juvia's palette, the color Jubilee, and I just started pretty much patting that all over my lids with one of the Real Techniques brushes. It was a flat head brush. It was a base brush, base shadow brush. That's basically what it was. So I just started filling in the lid of my eyebrow, sorry, I keep saying eyebrow, eyelid with that Jubilee color from the Juvia's Place palette. So right here I started shading in underneath my eyelid with a shader brush, again from BH Cosmetics. I just started filling it in with a dark brown shade. That's basically what I'm showing you guys here. And I'm just finishing up on the underneath the eyebrow. And then I started using the Neutrogena in soft beige as a foundation, and I mixed it in with the Neutrogena foundation powder, and I mix those two together just to get a more full coverage on my foundation. And that's basically what I'm gonna finish the video off with. So let's just go ahead and continue with this. And what I started using right here was the Coty Airsprin powder, loose powder in translucent, and I just started to pat that around my face just to set the foundation with the BH Cosmetics 123. It was like a flathead fluffy brush, and I just started to pat that around my whole face, my forehead. I lightly patted it in. I don't like drown it or like stab my face with it or anything. And then I wiped it off with a fluffy BH Cosmetic brush. I just like to wipe it off with that because I feel like the bristles are just a little bit more looser, and they're not as harsh as the other one is. The other one picks up the powder really well, and it just extends it all over my face pretty good, so I don't have to like scoop it out or anything. And then I just put some chapstick on, and that's pretty much what I did for the lips. I didn't do any lipstick or anything. And then I took an angled brush on the Maybelline Infallible Blush palette, and I took the lightest color and I just did it on the apples of my cheeks. Brushed it on a couple of times, and that again is an angled brush from BH Cosmetics. I started doing right here was putting on the Master Bronze palette. I only used the highlighter from that palette just because I'm not going anywhere, so I didn't want to use a dramatic highlight. And I just kind of patted it on with my finger at first, but I didn't like the way it was going on with my finger, so I started using a fan brush that I got from Morphe. So I think it was like $3.99. It works pretty good, so I just started using that fan brush for the highlighter. I kind of moved the angle because it was the lighting was kind of retarded, so I just brushed that on. As you can see, there's a pretty good shine. I didn't put it on my nose or my lips or anything, or the top of my eyelids, just because I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, we're just gonna finish off this video with that. I think that was pretty much the last thing I did. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole video, guys. I hope you liked it, and comment, give me some feedback, because I know I kind of suck. That was it.